Good morning. Welcome to Performance Science International's exercise instructional video series. Today, we're going to try to tackle the squat. Squat has a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of details to go over, so let's dig in. First thing is you want to set the rack up right. You want your catch to be high enough that if you fail, you can roll the bar off your back and it's not going to go down. People like to set them all the way down. Then if they fail, they're in trouble. You want to be able to, when you're down, just roll it off your back onto here, nice and easy, and it'll catch it, no problems. Then you can take the weight off, you can put it back up, and you can try another set. Second thing I see a lot of beginners do wrong is they set these racks too high. You don't want to be having to stand up straight to pick it off the rack. Because what's going to happen is when you do the set, the bar is going to sink down a little bit, especially if you're going any heavy at all. So then you're going to get back up to the rack and you're going to have a hard time doing it. So what you want is when you go to lift it off, you bring it up a few inches. That way, when you go to set it back down, you have plenty of room. If the bar slides down a little bit, if it pops out of the groove, you're still good. Okay? Basically, if you watch, I'm going to pick this up from here, okay? And I'm going to step back, okay? Now, when I'm done, I take a step forward, and I can go down and onto the rack without a problem. Really want that setup right. But, okay, so for the lift, I really want to stress this a lot. I've talked about this before in earlier videos. Any kind of pressing, and this is a leg pressing movement. As you go down, you want to think of yourself as a giant spring that gets tighter and tighter and tighter so that everything is tight. When you go to pick the weight off the rack, everything needs to be tight. And then as you go down, everything gets tighter and tighter. You want to try to keep your back almost arched. People say flat, and people think it means flat this way. You're going to lean forward, okay? But you don't want your back to round off. When it rounds off, that puts all your muscles and your joints in a very weak position, especially if you have any weight on the rack, on the bar. So really want to make sure you push that. I really have a love-hate relationship with the squat. I've been told that my upper body is a little long for my lower body, and that makes me lean forward more. I've really been working on it. If you want to see a perfect squat, go look at my buddy Jonathan do his squats. He's a power lifter, and they're perfect. Okay? So, once again, pick the bar up off the rack. You want to be lifting it up. You take a step back. You want to make sure you're back far enough that you're not going to hit the rack. But you don't want to take a whole bunch of steps. Okay? You want to be able to get it back on easily at the end. Okay? You want to have this set high enough so that you can roll it off if need be. You want to squat down. Now, another thing, as I've explained, especially with the leg press, when you push out of the bottom, you want to push out of the back of your foot. Okay? You're not leaning back. This is a little harder to do because, like on the leg press, you're not holding the weight. So it's more like instead of going forward onto your knees, you're just doing this. That's it. I'm pushing out of my feet. Boom. Pushing out of my heels. Okay. That takes the pressure off the knees, puts it up here on the quads and the glutes and the hips, which is where you want to develop. Okay. So the execution of the squat. When you pick it up, there is a perfect line below your trap and across the back of your deltoids where the bar will sit. You want it sitting there. You will find it. You'll feel it. It'll like lock in there. Okay? It might take a few times. Might not happen the first time. Do not get a big thick pad and set it up there because that pushes the bar up higher and away from you, and you will not find the groove when you do the squat. Okay? So I'm going to do this backwards. Okay. Right now, it's sitting right in that groove. My delts are holding it, and my traps are holding it. And now I can just go down and squat. Okay? Oh, that's awkward. Okay, so now you can see that. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to do a few reps. Pretty much it. If you follow this, if you follow the advice I did on the leg press, and keep practicing, this is going to take something that's going to take some practice. It'll fall into place, and one day you're going to feel a groove, and it's just going to go down and go up, and you're going to feel so much stronger. Okay, but finding that is the important thing. Okay? I'm picking the bar up, stepping back, pushing out of my heels, keeping my chest up, going down to the bottom, not stopping halfway. A lot of people like to do squats halfway down. They think they're going down all the way, but then they don't get any development and they wonder why. Gotta go all the way down. Okay, that's how you develop the strength. It's a full range of motion that builds the muscle. It's the full range of motion you get the shape out of. Okay? So hopefully this helps. Once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe. It helps us to keep making these. It helps us to make these better. Also, my website, we've got personal training. We can go over this more in depth. We can go over your diet. We can go over your workout routine. And I will make a specialized routine for you. Thank you.